Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we have something a little different. We're going to be watching the lore of Nijisanji Ian, Lazulite to Xsoleil. I hope I said that correctly. I just want to give a huge shout out to Raelice who gave me the okay to react to this video. So if you'd be so kind, please check him out. Link will be in the description below. For a little bit of context, I have very little knowledge on any big VTubers. I know possibly a handful through different means. Mori and Kaysan from Trash Taste, Shoto from Twitter, and if memory serves me right, I first got introduced to Shy Lily through a clip on YouTube. Outside of that, I don't really have any information on any like corporate or quote-unquote big name VTubers or anything like that. Now I know what you're thinking, Kai, how are you a VTuber if you don't even have basic knowledge of big names in the industry? Honestly, I have no clue. I was actually informed of the world of VTubing through an old friend who was also a streamer. They were a PNG tuber at the time, and I was just kind of wondering what I wanted to do personally. I wasn't a big fan of the idea of like face cam or anything, and then that's when I kind of got introduced to all of this. So yeah, I thought I'd use this opportunity to kind of dive into the world of corporate VTubers and big named VTubers, try to broaden my information, my knowledge on them and whatnot. So with all that being said, let's get right into the video.
Iluna Pandora is the solar sky dragon of Nijisanji, a professional dragon tamer, purveyor of thighs, and master of sheesh. She was part of the first wave of English talent. Now, unlike good old Hololive, Nijisanji tends to keep its lore a little bit more vague, but let's dive into what we got. Her birthday is on October 16th, so she's never said her age, and as a solar dragon could be several millennia old. She has a pet named Pickle, which can often be found on her shoulder, sporting a necklace with the word Queen on it. That also happens to be a nickname her community has called her several times, and with her newest outfit update, she now wears a crown stating, "You call me one anyways, I might as well wear it proudly." Her greatest fear in life is learning kanji, of all things, though she has stated she has hemophobia, the fear of blood, and ichthyophobia, the fear of fish. Her left eye has a diamond-shaped pupil similar to Pickle's, and she's the half-sister of...
To be honest, I would have a fear of fish too. I mean, those things are fucking aliens. Have you seen an octopus, dude? Like, those things are straight out from outer space. You cannot change my mind about that.
Tatsuki. Homu Rainpuff is a member of the Nijisanji English group Lazulite alongside Iluna Pandora and Finana Ryugu. Homu is a fairy who lives in virtual Neverland and was losing her powers because people stopped believing in fairies. To fix this, she did research, a lot of it, into that side of the internet and eventually came across anime and VTubing. Realizing its potential, she decided to become a VTuber to get people believing in fairies once again, using her big Pomu energy. Rumor has it that she's on the path of world domination once she gets strong enough, and I'd say she's succeeding because the website whose entire purpose is to say I'm Pomu with the press of a button has been used 3.5 billion times. The website is impomu.com. Her birthday is on July 12th, and we don't know how old she is because fairy culture measures age in flowers. She didn't want to do the conversion for us. Thanks, Pomu. She is 9 centimeters tall in her fairy form, which apparently is short for a fairy, but her human form is 156 centimeters. Most importantly, just remember, Finana Ryugu, mermaid, anthropologist extraordinaire, and egg. If you know, you know. Finana is a member of the Nijisanji English group Lazulite, alongside Iluna Pandora and Homu Rainpuff. A descendant of Ryugu, the dragon sea god, her royal duty is to preserve the coral reefs in the tropical seas. Her interest in humans began because a tropical fish told her rumors of the land above water, and the stories eventually convinced her to leave the sea and begin her study of humans and their culture. Her birthday is on July 21st. Once again, we have no age other than Fruit Loop, like 90% of all VTubers. She is also the shortest member of Nijisanji English at 140 centimeters, much to her dismay. Her name often gets auto-corrected to Finance, which is also the name her fans call her when she uses a lower voice. And finally, she has stated liking squeezing things to distract herself from nervousness, and has on occasion used her own 2 stress balls for expressly this purpose. Petrogurn is your local frost penguin, also known as unidentified.
If I had stress balls, I would do that too. Perfectly valid.
Subject number 2434. It's not stated where she was found, only that it was a group of researchers who initially discovered her living in isolation. She was taken in by their protection program to help teach her how to live and interact as a human. After a couple of years, she was introduced to streaming as part of a socialization initiative to help her deal with large crowds of people. And so she joined the Nijisanji English group Obsidia alongside Solen Tatsuki and Rosemi Lovelock. Her birthday is on December 4th, you guessed it, we don't get her age, and she's only 142 centimeters tall. As a frost penguin, if she ever gets too cold, she reverts back to her penguin form, so that's why she always wears a hoodie or some other form of warm clothing. She's also tried to clone Rosemi by snipping off parts of her hair and planting it. The copies keep dying on her, but she keeps trying anyways, every day, burying the bodies and using them as compost for the next Rosemi. Rosemi Lovelock is a rose maiden who once lived in a beautiful but secluded flower garden.
That's kind of
quite
weird.
lonely, as she rarely received visitors, potentially due to her many thorns. She often wondered how to better interact with people. It was then that she noticed a small fairy who frequently tended to other flowers and was always quite happy. Wanting to learn why, she asked a nearby bumblebee about this fairy and was told the reason she was so happy is because she's a VTuber. Quickly becoming one herself so she could interact with the world beyond her small garden, she joined the Nijisanji English group Obsidia alongside Petra Gurin and Solen Tatsuki, and also somehow ended up as an intern at Pomu's company, Scam. Rosemi's birthday is on September 16th. Her age has been redacted, of course, and she's 150 centimeters tall. There's also a possibility she is Satan, given a few frames of the Obsidia release video, where the words Satan, Penguin, and Dragon flash across the screen to introduce its members. I guess it's true. A Rosemi by any other name would still be Satan. Solen Tatsuki is a half-dragon, half-human member of Nijisanji English, and the half-sister of Iluna Pandora. She is a lunar sky dragon and can swap between her human and dragon forms at will, though her human hand still retains a draconic appearance. She is a professional dragon tamer and racer, often coming in first place, only to discard the trophies later because she's more interested in the thrill of the race. This may be why racing attire is her go-to outfit, and why she plays high-octane games like Apex on stream. She's also really good at them. She somehow got both internet and electricity into the cave she lives in, and her current dragon in training is Ember, a self-proclaimed good boy who she keeps a muzzle on so he doesn't accidentally.
I just want to say, whatever internet provider she has, I need that, because I live in a house in the middle of the city and I get terrible speeds, and that's kind of bullshit. If she lives in a cave, like, come on.
Burn us. He also has some pretty nice dance moves. She celebrates her birthday on November 30th because that's the day she ate her twin. Yes, you heard that correctly. And she's old enough to have a flying license that she paid $200 for and is definitely legitimate. Reimu Endo, the Ghost of Darkness, one of the few canonically dead VTubers. Unfortunately, not much is really known about how she died, but we do know she awoke as a ghost in the underworld, remembering bits and pieces of her life with the other members of the Nijisanji English group Ethyria. However, soon after awakening, a ghostly figure approached her, reaching out its hand and beckoning to her. Don't know why she took its hand, but she did. It changed her appearance, stole her memories, attached itself to her head, and is potentially the reason she was able to leave the underworld by following a trail of wisteria flowers, which happened to be one of the kanji in her name. This flower is known for representing long life and immortality, so Reimu might just be immortal now. Not really sure. Her birthday is on November 2nd. She's 155 centimeters tall, and unfortunately, she doesn't remember her own age. Reimu has also been on Earth for a while, having mentioned she ran into Vox around 400 years ago, beating him at a game of some sort, though Vox vehemently denies this. Anna Alouette was once a normal human. However, during her time as a mortal, she experienced many hardships and became cruel and bitter towards others. Suffering a severe accident that resulted in her death, she was sent down to hell to atone for her wrongdoings. Unfortunately, the divine beings that passed judgment on her didn't realize that she would not—
I'm telling you, they're fucking aliens, dude. Look at it. I mean, multiple tentacles that have suction cups? Like, come on. And have you seen the way they, like, move? Like, have you ever seen an octopus running across the fucking seafloor? Like, bro, there's no way those things are not aliens. You cannot change my mind about that.
Not only thrive in hell, but become a major influence on other residents. It's here where she met Millie, one of her best friends and fellow members of the Nijisanji English group, Ethyria. It's also where her mischievous personality became much more sadistic. It actually got so bad that the other residents of hell were using her as a role model for their bad behavior. Eventually, the divine beings told her that she would be brought into heaven as part of their plans to make her atone, an offer she only accepted because they threatened to keep reincarnation from her, and because she wanted to taint heaven as well. Her birthday is on February 20th. We don't get to know height or age, but
Oh, her
what
birthday's
else is
coming
new
up
at this
soon.
point? The divine beings also turned her into a songbird because she's afraid of birds. Well played. Now she begins her journey of healing not only the world, but herself. Millie Parfait, the Great Witch of Calamity, was once a young girl living with her grandmother, happily spending her days learning magic. At least until an angry mob burned her house to the ground alongside her grandmother and tried to burn her at the stake for being a witch. She was saved by a great demon named Luxium, who asked her to form a pact with him. She did, so he promptly made meat eaters fall down and kill the angry mob. After an undisclosed amount of time, she relocated to the underworld where she met Enna, who gave her a parfait laced with pomu leaf. Becoming immediately enamored with this dessert, she asked where she could find it. Being told there was more on Earth, she teleported there, where she found out her magic no longer worked and was now stranded, so she had to get a job and integrate back into human society. Overworked and having no financial stability, she decided to instead become a VTuber and join the Nijisanji English group, Ethyria. She also moved the cardboard box she was living in to Illyra's basement. Her birthday is on December 12th. Once again, we get no height or age. And finally, her magic wand is likely her grandmother's fork from when she was a child. Nina Kosaka is a member of the Nijisanji English group, Ethyria, alongside Reimu, Millie, and Enna.
I just want to say this now. There's what seems to be a pattern here, right? And a lot of it has to revolve around them integrating themselves back into like society and stuff. When do we get a VTuber whose lore is specifically just they have destroyed the world? Really, I want to see chaos and destruction. Am I gonna get that? Maybe we'll find out during this journey of like reacting to big corporate VTubers and learning about them and stuff. But personally, I want to see chaos and destruction. This integrating into human society, like, come on.
Normal fox, then fox spirit, then the keeper of luck in heaven, and now a beacon of luck for humanity. She's lived as many lives as she has tales and claims to tell us all in time. We already know her lips are sealed on a few topics though, because she started talking about the working conditions in heaven, like the mountains of paperwork or not being able to drink, but was pressured to say no more under the threat of being sued by God. This was of course after getting kicked out of heaven for giving away too much luck, money, and in general avoiding work. She hates working. Her birthday is November 22nd, and we don't know how old she is or what life she's on for that matter. She's 165 centimeters tall without the ears. She was very adamant about telling us that. She likes calling everyone honey, and during her debut stream, she said the word 96 times in 26 minutes, averaging out to be 3.66 honeys per minute. Finally, she has extensive knowledge about cannibalism,
sitting
which
there
is
writing
something we
these
should all be
out?
concerned about. Luca
What?
Kineshiro is a member of the Nijisanji English group Luxium, alongside Shu, Mista, Ike, and Vox. In 1969, he was walking down the street and saw a man beating someone up, so he stepped in and defended the victim. The man ran off, leaving his bag behind, and so Luca chased after him to give it back. Turns out it was stolen, and now he had Mista hot on his trails, calling him a thief and trying to arrest him. When he was cornered in an alley and about to explain his situation, he witnessed Mista being abducted by a portal, with himself being taken a moment later. Now in the modern age, quite literally being isekai'd to Nijisanji, he starts his new career as a streamer. He claims to be an evil mafia boss, but is the biggest teddy bear of the group and has been given a new moniker, the Pog Boss. He's also the first human of Nijisanji English to debut, like an actual, normal, regular human. Just wanted to point that out. His birthday is on April 10th. He's 23, thank you for actually telling us, and he's 178 centimeters tall with the biggest chest size of the Luxium group. Mr. Rias, Detective Extraordinaire, is a member of the Nijisanji English group Luxium, alongside Shu, Ike, Vox, and Luca. Once a great detective from 1969, he was known for cracking the most difficult of cases, due in no small part to his excellent sense of smell. In fact, it was because he was using this to find a notorious thief that he bumped into Luca as he was beating up a thug and mistook him for that thief. He chased him into a corner but got teleported away and into the modern age. He then proceeded to get absolutely hammered at a nearby bar, crying and complaining until the barkeeper showed him VTubers, and now he plans to use his followers to help find the thief he was chasing all those years ago. His birthday's on January 20th, no age was given.
Bro was committed to his job. That is crazy.
Don't be fooled by the ears on his head, they're actually just part of—
Sorry, I missed the editor's note. He's 25 or 18 if you believe his Ring Fit stream.
given, and he's 177 centimeters tall. Don't be
Don't know
fooled
what
by the
that
ears
is,
on his
so.
head. They're actually just part of his hat. That's right, we got another normal human. Until he starts cooking, then he becomes the eldritch horror of the kitchen, and we all need to run for our lives. Seriously.
It's completely unrelated, but fun fact. I was making dinner like 2 days ago. And I almost burned my fucking house down. So, yeah. Kaoru knows exactly how it feels to be a shit cook.
Who leaves rice in a rice cooker until maggots spawn? Shu Yamino, the
Kids, wash your rice, please. If you don't wash your rice, you're getting disowned.
sorcerer from the past that got sent to the future because of magical poop. Are these notes right? They are? Okay. Shu is a member of the Niji-sanji English group Luxium, alongside Luca, Vox, Ike, and Mista. When Shu was a child, he went outside, where a man tried to trick him into stepping in poop. The plan failed, and when Shu went back into his house, it magically flew off the ground and smacked into him, pushing him into a fire. While on fire, his dad said, "Oh no, you're burning," and he replied with, "I'm burning hotter than your mom." A burn so epic that the gods decided not only to save him, but to transport him to the future, all because of magical poop. He's a jujitsu sorcerer, which is a type of magic related to curses, just like his lore, and he inherited these powers.
Do the Niji VTubers make up their own lore? Or am I like mistaking something?
May 2nd, and we're unsure of his age since he left the past as a child and has arrived in the future as an adult. He's 173 centimeters tall and is capable of saying and holding A for over 30 seconds. Vox Akuma is a member of the Niji-sanji group Luxium, alongside Shu, Mista, Ike, and Luca. Vox was first noticed in the 16th century during Japan's Sengoku period. Having claimed ownership of a castle through use of his silver tongue, his clan named him Vox Akuma, the voice demon. For 2 years, his clan enjoyed immense wealth and prosperity, but any deserters were dealt with by his sword. He would leave their bodies at the gate as a grim reminder to any who thought of leaving. One day, a diplomat arrived from the shogunate demanding that Vox merge his borders with Tokugawa, a request met with anger and a declaration that Vox was ready for war. Soon, the shogun's army arrived and crushed the resistance with overwhelming force, but Vox fought to the bitter end, taking hundreds of soldiers with him as the fire of his blade finally dimmed. After hiding in the shadows for 400 years so his powers could return, he has once again begun to rebuild his clan, using his viewers as soldiers and attempting to unify all under his banner. He's already surpassed his original clan size of 522 by about 80-fold, so I think he's well on his way. Ike Eveland, a novelist from the past. One day, while walking through the marketplace as a young child, Ike came across a stand selling books. After looking at them with longing for a little while, the vendor decided to give him one to take home and enjoy. Falling in love with the stories being told, he decided to become a novelist himself to help spread this joy to others. One day, as he was working on his books, his vision began to blur, and suddenly he found himself in the present age. After a little adjusting to the modern era, he found himself a new family and home alongside his fellow members of the Niji-sanji English group Luxium. He's now turned to streaming to fulfill his storytelling passion, but we may yet see more books from him in the future. His birthday is on June 12th, he felt converting his age was too hard, and he's 173 centimeters tall without heels. He also has campanophobia, the fear of bells, which his fans are careful to warn him about whenever he's playing any games on stream. Albin Knox.
I'm very confused. So you're telling me that this guy just got isekai'd by reading a book? Like, that is the strangest isekai plot I have ever seen.
The Phantom Thief. Growing up in a ruined city in the distant future, he was forced to steal food for survival alongside his best friend. They actually managed to get away with this for his entire childhood and well into adolescence until one day they were caught and beaten. Albin survived, his friend did not. Determined to save the children of the city from a similar fate, he continued to steal food and hand it out to those who needed it. He eventually became a great thief, and during a heist to steal a large diamond, a portal opened in front of him and pulled him into our time. Now he works for the Niji-sanji English group Noctyx alongside Fulgur, Uki, Yugo, and Sunny. His birthday is on May 26th, age is time travel amnesia, and he's 175 centimeters tall. He also arrived wearing some pretty interesting technology which he still uses for his heists. The little hair clips he wears enhance his hearing, his yellow eye allows him to see in the dark, and he doesn't actually need glasses, he just wears them because they're stylish. Yugo Asuma, the DJ.
Valid.
Hugo is from a
People
future
that wear
timeline
glasses
where
are,
androids have
you know,
taken over the world and imposed an increasing
pretty
number
good
of
looking,
rules to try and
if I
keep
do say so
humanity
myself.
in check. Finding it difficult to integrate with this world and make friends, he was advised by his sensei Ike to learn English to try and broaden his horizons. One day, while he was hosting a concert, the android regime crashed the party, stating that they had violated the newly created Article 277, which prohibited more than a certain number of entertainment activities. Standing up to a world that was constantly trying to drown him in the darkness, he called the androids Baka and was thrown into a nearby river, presumably left for dead. Somehow, he was instead transported to our timeline, where he made friends with his fellow members of Noctyx and is committed to living life to its fullest by playing freely, clumsily, and without regret. His birthday is on July 4th, no age because he technically hasn't been born yet, thanks time travel, and he's 168 centimeters tall. He also wants to find a time machine that will let him go back and retrieve his demo tapes because he refuses to give up on his music. Sonny Briscoe is the commander of an elite special forces group called the VSF in the year 20XX. Dedicated to fighting virtual crimes such as people illegally downloading cars or stealing virtual identities, he found himself hunting a hacker organization called Blackout. When they finally found their base, he entered alone, and turns out Sonny is actually really good at his job because he took out every enemy agent except their boss, which turned out to be his boss trying to go back in time to undo the virtual age. But not before talking everyone's ear off and then getting sucker punched by Sonny, which caused him to get taken by the time machine instead and dropped off in front of Niji-Sanji HQ.
Wait, what? So, if I'm wrapping my head around this, the boss was supposed to be the one that got transported, but because this guy punched his boss in the face, he got transported instead. There's so much information that I'm just struggling to wrap my head around everything right now.
Now he works for them, investigating the crimes of this era, which hopefully means Mista's war crimes against
Step right there, criminal scum. Nobody breaks the law on my watch. I'm confiscating your stolen goods. Now pay your fine or it's off to jail.
His food will soon be abated. His birthday's on April 6th. Age was redacted. His name was supposed to be redacted as well, but didn't know how well that went. He's 180 centimeters tall, making him the tallest of Niji-Sanji En, at least right now. And his fellow members of Noctyx are Fulgur, Albin, Uki, and Yugo. Fulgur Ovid, the cyborg. Fulgur is from a future where the planet has become so poisoned that a breathing filter is needed to simply go outside. Virtual technology had also progressed so far that most people are equipped with a cybernetic implant called eyes that allow you to see the world any way you want. While working as a legatus, also known as the Cyber Police, in the megacity known as the Republic, he was tasked to stop a terrorist group called the Martyrists from going back in time and eradicating humanity, all because they believed it would heal our world. Unfortunately, during the confrontation with one of their leaders, he was sent back in time instead and now hangs out in Niji-Sanji with the other members of Noctyx. Except for that everything up until that last part was fanfiction he wrote about a Dungeons and Dragons character. He's not the badass that he showed during his original debut, unless of course Vox asks. He's actually an archivist cyborg who's really into literature, though we're not sure how he ended up here. His birthday's on March 26th, no age is given, and he's 178 centimeters tall. You should also read his blog Legatus 505 if you want more of his lore. Uki Violetta, the psychic. Uki was born into a futuristic world where a class system decided that his family had no influence. Desperate to survive, his parents sold him off at a young age to a group who promised safety for the unwanted. But really, it was a cult ready to take advantage of the beaten and broken. One night, when he was attempting to escape and becoming weak, he looked up into the sky where a star was falling towards him. It landed inside his eye, changing its color and granting him new psychic abilities, which he immediately used to float off the ground and enter a portal to our timeline. This event also seems to have changed him physically, as he is stronger, needs to eat less, and has attained some sliver of divinity. I mean, have you heard his debut song? Clearly, he's an angel. His birthday is July 17th, National Tattoo Day. Age is Doesn't Matter Anymore Lamau, and he's 169 centimeters tall, though he likes wearing lifts to be just a little bit taller. He will also come after you if you leave a dirty dish in the sink, so just be careful if he ever decides to visit. Ren Zoto, the alien prince who can speak Animal Crossing. Ren is a member of an advanced alien species who are considered to be the apex predators of the galaxy, moving from planet to planet, leaving only devastation in their wake. He was the most known and feared of his kind, at least until he got bored and then pieced out from his homeworld to find a new life. During his journey, he came across Earth, where he discovered people who enjoyed eating food, playing video games, watching anime, and most importantly, listening to music, something he had never heard before. He was instantly enthralled and started to not so subtly observe from his floating spaceship that people thought was a weather balloon. Deciding he wanted to stay on this newfound planet, he enrolled in the Iluna Institute of the Mystics while following his newfound passion in music. His birthday's on March 25th. He's somewhere in his 20s, 180 centimeters tall, and in his front pouch is a mint first edition holographic Charizard card. Scarla Yonaguni, the Enchantress of Nijisanji Iluna. Scarla is a Year 3 student of the Iluna Institute of the Mystics, who is also an enchantress, as in that's her species, not her job. She seems to excel at brewing potions, has seductive magic, and her name's actually Scarlet. She just left off the T in her application to the school, and so Scarla became her official name. We don't know how she got to the school or really where she came from, but we do know she changed the mole on her chest's name to Mika in honor of one of her senpais. Her birthday is on February 19th, National Mint Chocolate Day, ironically a type she doesn't enjoy. Her age is
none ya. It's none your business. I'm old enough, that's all that matters.
And she's 165 centimeters tall. Kyo Kaneko, the guy who was isekai'd by the moon. Growing up, Kyo had a lot of health issues that led him to become socially isolated, failing at school, and developing chronic pain. Until one day, a strange light appeared in his hospital room that led him to the rooftop, where strange magic enveloped him and teleported him away.
So you're telling me that we're just gonna be following strange lights? I mean, what? What? Do they not see the problem with this?
He now lives a more carefree life with his newfound friends at the Iluna Institute.
I mean, I guess it worked out for him, but still.
His blessing with everyone by just having fun. His birthday's on December 29th. He's ageless, a supposed side effect of the moon's blessing, and he's 160 centimeters tall. Aya Amare, the Angel of Crime. Aya used to live in heaven, causing no small amount of trouble on a weekly, if not daily, basis. One day, while in the middle of an unarmed fistfight she was using a baseball bat in, an archangel called her into his office to explain that her 2 counts of arson, 5 counts of theft, and 17 counts of vandalism just that month had gone a little too far, and that the higher-ups would be taking more drastic measures to help her become well-adjusted. Despite her protest of,
I haven't even done anything that bad,
and worries no one was taking her seriously, she was sent off to the Iluna Institute of the Mystics.
I feel like sending them to a school is
and
the
even toned down some of her
last
more violent
option you should be,
beating up criminals in the
going to.
Denny's parking lot instead of random people. Her birthday is on May 27th, age is redacted, and she's 158 centimeters tall. Aster Arcadia, the Celestial One. Aster is a divine being born from an exploding supernova, who spent many years drifting through space and materializing his body before ending up at the Iluna Institute of the Mystics run by Nijisanji. He's managed to find good friends there that are helping him move past the loss of a...
Fun fact, so this is the only, well, this is one of 2 groups that I actually saw on Twitter actually like get released and stuff. And I originally thought that Aster was a female character. I don't remember what I saw that made me realize that it's a male character. But yeah, I was very taken aback.
Loved one, and fulfilling her dying wish of hoping he would find happiness
I was just there like,
through the guidance
cute
of the
anime girl.
stars.
Oh,
we're not sure what
cute
the
anime
stars
boy
are, but what matters is that he's happy and moving on to his new life filled with friends. His birthday is on September 25th. He's a nice 1,069 years old, and he's
Nice.
170 centimeters tall. Maria Marionette, the articulating doll. Maria was a one-of-a-kind doll made in the 1890s, where she was bought for a small girl to play with. Unfortunately, she was dropped on their way home, causing her left eye to break off, but the girl happened to have a cute eye patch and put it on her to cover it up. Eventually, she was left on a shelf and forgotten for over 100 years until a magic spell caused her to wake up as a human and repaired her eye, though she still favors wearing the eye patch. She is now enrolled at the Iluna Institute of the Mystics and enjoys spending time with her newfound friends. Her birthday is on December 7th. She doesn't have an age because dolls don't age, and she's 152 centimeters tall. A height she's pretty happy with, considering her old form was the size of her patchwork emotional support bunny, Sir Ventrilo. The apocalypse is real and coming soon, at least according to Zion Lanza, who either came from the future to save us all from a moon filled with alien technology that will force it to crash into the Earth, killing everyone because of some war, or is a mental patient with the power to manifest her delusions into technology. One day, after witnessing the apocalypse in her time, she blinked and found herself in the present day, confused and alone, passing out not long after. She woke in a hospital a few days later and was then found by her father and director of the Xsoleil Institute of Infinity, who assured her the apocalypse is real and the members of elite society need her help to try and prevent it. Agreeing to return with him, she works alongside her newfound friends as student council treasurer to protect the world from an apocalypse she believes is coming. She's 152 centimeters tall, her birthday's on July 11th, and her official title is the Highest Infinity. The entire student council in the Xsoleil Institute of Infinity is rife with trauma, and its event coordinator Meloko Kyoran is no exception. Growing up as a member of an elite exorcist bloodline, she was kicked out of her family when she failed to perform at the highest level. This is of course after effectively isolating her from the world by banning any fun or recreational activities during her childhood. Thankfully, a kind ghost told her of a secret road that would lead to what she truly desired, but in exchange she wouldn't know her final destination. Deciding it was worth the risk, she traveled its path, ending up on a beach near the ruined city of Xsoleil, being recruited by its headmaster soon after. She now spends her time helping her friends and others get through their struggles through her use of her council command Happy Death Day, which allows her to exorcise ghosts and demons with her trusty umbrella, as long as the sun isn't up. It's also more powerful when it's raining. Her birthday's on October 29th, she's 164 centimeters without heels, and her title is the Arcana of Melancholy. As far as VTubers go, Xsoleil has one of the more unique and helpful abilities in Nijisanji, being able to transfer mental, emotional, and physical pain to himself through a simple touch. Unfortunately, this is at the cost of his own sanity, but thankfully he's found himself a group of friends at the Xsoleil Institute of Infinity, using his powers to heal others, stop an apocalypse or two, and even begin to grow past his current traumas. He's also the underpaid therapist.
I'm not gonna lie, this guy looks like the main character. He really does.
Student counselor, making him one of the more mature of the group despite only being a second year. He's 185 centimeters tall, making him the second tallest member in all of Niji-en. His birthday's on May 7th, and his official title is the Sage of Grief. If you've ever wanted a friend to take your place for a test, social event, or awkward date, Kotaka Torahime's got you covered. All she needs is a simple touch, taking a picture with flash on, and voila, a perfect copy. Unfortunately, this constant copying of others led to a problem with her own identity and trying to find her place in the world until she was found by a cat who loved her for who she was. She named it Potato. Soon after, Zion Lanza and her father / potential great-great-grandfather showed up and invited her to attend.
Wait, what? Her father / great-great-grandfather? Are we skipping over that? Or did I miss something?
And the Xsoleil Institute of Infinity, where she could find a group of friends with powers and struggles similar to her own. She accepted, wanting to become an inspiration for others like her sensei had been for her. Her birthday's on August 14th, she's 166 centimeters tall, and how she ended up as student council vice president is anyone's guess. Unlike the rest of Xsoleil, we don't get Ver Vermillion's backstory on how he became the student council president, but more of a comprehensive look at his abilities through his lore. On a mission given to him by Zion for leaving the student council room windows open overnight, he charged headfirst into a group of mercenaries to save a client's daughter. This turned out to be a pretty easy fight for him, since he used his council command Anima Veritas, which allows him to summon a soul knife, see a little bit into the future, and gain superhuman strength. Once the thugs were unconscious, he used his ability on the girl he was saving and saw that another kidnapping attempt would be made if he didn't deal with the problem then and there. After that, all I'm gonna say is he walked away from a burning building and the thugs could no longer bother the little girl. His birthday's on August 25th, he's 173 centimeters tall, and his title is the Soul Prophet. Doppio Dropscythe might be the first VTuber I know of who shows himself getting a criminal record in their lore video, which was shot live in Xsoleil City by Merryweather Media. Doppio's story begins with his intense dislike of class, feeling that he was being forced into a mold along with all the other students. He was suspended multiple times for skipping class, and on one such occasion, he saw two women about to be ran over by a speeding car, so he leapt out to protect them and punched it nearly in half, saving their lives and learning of his power to reflect an enemy's strength.
Bro, if I was the dude that got saved by this guy, I would be angry. Like, I could have been the isekai protagonist that I've always wanted to be. I could have gotten hit by a car. I could have transported to another world. I could have had some stupid power, like my fingernails are, the strongest material in the world or something, and I became rich and had a harem or something. And you're telling me this dude, Doppio, is the one who stopped me from that? Like, come on.
Back upon itself. He also gained a criminal record. While in jail, he was approached by the Xsoleil headmaster, who offered him a second chance at life, using his fists to fight off evildoers. He accepted and finally seems to have found a place where he belongs. His birthday's on January 31st. He's 187 centimeters tall, and his title is the Duke of Discipline.
What a video. What a video. So I guess all I really have to say with that is that was honestly quite the watch. There was so much information for me to like gather. I really just could not process all of it. They really like to just, you know, throw the whole isekai thing there. I guess it's just, yeah, there was a lot of information for me to process. And I guess moving forward, I have a lot to learn. In terms of, I guess, my favorite design, I would definitely say that Hex Haywire is definitely the main protagonist of Niji Sanji. The dude looks sick. Like, he looks hot. All right, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat that. He looks hot. One thing I did want to touch up was the Shui Yamino guy. Do they make their own lore? Because honestly, with corporate VTubers, I always assumed that it was always the company that made it. And again, I have no like background information or anything on like any of this. Like I'm completely new to all of this. I have not watched really anything like corporate VTuber related. So I always thought that they made like the character themselves, like the lore, the name, and everything, and they kind of just like chose people through auditions, like based off of what fits like that character best. The fact that this guy died to poop, like they actually made it like a legitimate like shit post, which is kind of funny to be honest. But it just doesn't seem. Maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just me thinking too highly of like companies and stuff. But I honestly just assumed that they would take this sort of thing a little more serious. But I mean, obviously you're supposed to have fun with it. But I don't know. I didn't think it would be like this guy's backstory is dying to poop. But hey, that's just me. So yeah, I guess, you know, that was the lore of Niji Sanji, from Lazulite to Xsoleil, however you say that. I apologize if I got that wrong in any way, if I got any of these names wrong. Yeah, with that being said, I just want to give another shout out to Raelice for giving me the okay to actually react to this video. I'll be using this definitely as an entry point of the whole like company VTuber side of things. I'll definitely be diving in more because honestly, I've seen like like Twitter posts and like art of like these characters and everything, and I've been very curious to like learn about them and stuff, but I just never really got around to it, I guess. So maybe I can just start using this as like a way to actually like dive into the world of like corporate VTubing. Anyways, with that being said, this is going to be me heading out now. If you have any additional information to provide for me as someone who doesn't really know anything about like the corporate VTubing space and the likes of that, feel free to leave a comment below if there's anything that you would like me to react to next. Like I'm assuming, I think they do like music and stuff. If you want me to react to any of their songs, just, you know, let me know down below. Yeah. If you stuck around for this, thank you. I appreciate it. If there's anything you would have liked to see me do differently, or any information you wanted me to, or think that I should know, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll read every single one of them. If you like this, also just drop a like. I'd appreciate it very much. But yeah, thanks for listening to my rambling, and I hope you all have a good rest of your days/nights. What? I struggle with making outros and intros and stuff so bad. Why am I so awkward?